Welcome back, everybody, to the Redstone Revival series here with your buddy DunePeaches. Last time, if you were able to watch the first episode, we left off with the powered components, the lectern right here behind me. And we had a great time going through as many of the components as we could. And before we move on to the rest of the powered components, I have a few things that I wanted to show you real quick as I was playing around with some of the powered components we already talked about. Now, just for everybody information, I'll hit the F3 button here and show you that Minecraft has come out with the next snapshot, which is 21W11A, and I don't believe anything has changed in the Redstone, but once again, that's the purpose of this series. As the snapshots change and Redstone potentially updates, we'd like to see what and why and where. So, real quickly, I wanted to show you this, the Tripwire. I did not test the blocks right above the hook, but look at this. It actually does work. So if we take that particular theory and say maybe replace it with yeah, I should have one here. I do. Let's try this. Ooh, so does it not? It powers the redstone. It doesn't necessarily power the solid blocks. That's good to know. Interesting. That's why we do this, right? We're looking at all the different options. So the opaque blocks apparently are not powered. They are not. Opaque blocks are not powered by the trick hooks themselves, but the redstone components are. I'm assuming then, if you were to also put... yeah, let's try that. Well, let's do this. Yep, so redstone components are powered vertically on top of a trip hook. Next, let's go back to the daylight sensor for just a moment. Do you guys know there's a way to short circuit, essentially, the daylight sensor? What I mean by that is it's daytime, right? The daylight sensor is on for the daylight setting, so if I was to turn this off for night, or not turn it off, but switch it to night, it turns that off. Now watch this. It works even in this snapshot. I've essentially short-circuited the daylight sensor. Now, I found this out just to show you guys what I had done. I found this out in a series, the Impulse SV Patreon server series, because I was trying to figure out a way to do pedestrian lighting on the paths. Ooh, that's not where I wanted that. And this is what I had come up with along the path. Now, this obviously, knowing that this daylight sensor will produce a redstone signal day or night, was really nice. I could make it into a potted plant. I could do so many different things if I wanted to, and your imagination can go wild with this of how to power these redstone lamps without having to have redstone signal coming from miles away or wherever it would be. So this is the kind of a neat way to do so. And again, if you were to hop over to the other series, you'd see me use that all over my base on the Impulse SV Patreon server. Okay, well, let's move on to where we left off on episode 1, or part 1 of the powered components. And the very next item I wanted to show you was chests and trap chests. So in my inventory I have a chest and a trap chest. Now this one right here, just to let you guys know, is a trap chest. So when I open it, it does give a signal of one redstone block. You can see that behind it. Now let's just, for your consideration, drop a chest. Not only does it not send the signal, but you can see that the redstone dust doesn't even recognize it. What I mean by that is watch what it changes when I put the trap chest there. It actually connects to it. So that's good to know. Now the question then becomes, around the trap chest, where does the signal go? Vertically, all 4 sides down? And the answer is yes. When I open this up, you can see the back side opens, is powered, the side blocks will power, and even more interesting, redstone dust below a trap chest will actually receive a signal as well. That's good to know. And just for full testing, we're trying to be scientific here, so let's try everything, right? I will open up a chest. That's a regular chest, right? Just to be sure, I'll place it again for you. And none of the blocks around it are powered. So that's how those work. basically, right? So then I set this up just to show that not only is it trapped because it does connect to it, but it does not go more than the one block, right? One signal strength. So let's move on, because this is not the only thing that can be done with chests. Now, this can be trapped or a normal chest. When you put a comparator on the back side of it, it will pull a signal out. With one block in it, the signal strength is 1. And I wanted, because everybody knows that as you start filling up chests, you can actually pull signal with strengths that are a little bit further, or they go further. But how does it go from 1 to 2? You have to get up to 124 blocks, items, I just say, in a chest in order for it to increase from 1 signal strength to 2, 247 to 3, 371 to 4, 494 to 5, and so on. So as you continuously fill up the chest or trap chest, the signal strength will go further and further. You guys, you've seen these kind of machines all the time, whether it's a item sorter or or some kind of silo. A lot of YouTubers will actually, or in Redstone guys, will use lights to indicate how much of a particular item that they have. And this is the thought process behind it. Is the more you have in the chest, the further out the redstone signal goes. And just step back. 1 to 124 is 123 plus 123 plus 124. Interesting. 123, 123, 124, 123. Let's take one out. And it does not light up. I was going to say it goes up by 123 each time, but almost goes up by 123 each time. So, let's do it. Let's do a quick test, right? We do this a lot. Let's see whether or not it cannot be moved. Can a trap chest be moved? So chests cannot be moved. I say that because I believe in Java, most of these items like this, including the hoppers, cannot be moved. In the Bedrock or Bedrock edition, it can be. Yep, it can. So hoppers cannot be moved with the piston. That is sad. Bedrock edition, I have so many different uses for being able to move a hopper. Which, again, here we go. This is our next item that produces a redstone signal. So once again, the redstone does not recognize the hopper by itself. You have to have a comparator behind it. And in the similar capacity of the chest and trap chests, we have one item in there, and it sends out a redstone signal of 1. 1 after the comparator. Then we move up to 23 for 2. 46 for 3. So what? That's 22, 23... 23, 23. So a little bit different there again, but you get the point, right? Again, just like the chest, the hoppers will have a signal strength in accordance to however much you have in it. Once again, and just for completeness, right? That's what the whole point is here. The shulker box is the same way. It does not connect to a redstone dust unless you have a comparator. 1 equals 1, 124. So now we're going back to the pattern of the chest. So shulker boxes and chests have the same items versus redstone signal, and hoppers are a little bit by themselves. Okay, so we have gone over the majority of the power components. There are just a few here behind me that we have not covered, including the composter, the shulk sensor, and the lightning rod. But I think I'm going to leave the shulk sensor and the lightning rod till last. So in order to go over the composter correctly, I need to show one more little redstone kind of theory here. And maybe you guys have seen this in the background of this video and the last video before, or the episode 1, but it's this matrix right here. There's a reason I have this going on, and let's hop back into normal mode here, and I will actually fly above it. So I have one redstone torch. And I have set up basically just half of this square, if you look at it that way, or diamond, I guess, if you look at it this way. But the purpose of it was to show that straight from that redstone source, you'll have your 15 redstone dusts reach, right? And we know that it's doing it because, one, we put the dragon head on top of a lamp just to show that it does reach. And obviously, since it's 15 max, you can go over 1 and down 14, over 2, down 13, and basically redstone is all powered by one source, and it will do that for the entire square if I was to finish this. So it's this signal strength path that goes 15, 14, 13, 12, and so on, that is used for a lot of different machines. And what I mean by that, again, stepping back to when different YouTubers or different Minecraft players will build sorting systems, they're looking for a signal strength of a certain output in order to make a machine work. And that's kind of how, if I grab my bone meal here, or nope, not bone meal, what am I talking? You can't put bone meal in a comparator, or I'm sorry, in a composter, but I can put a carrot in there, so let me grab the carrot. So a composter, if you have a comparator behind it, will actually pull out a redstone, and the strength of the redstone signal will be proportionate to how much you have in it. Now, I wanted to show real quick, and really the point is to show that when you have a grid like this, when things are stackable side by side, what most people are talking about when they say stackable side by side, or tileable, is the fact that the redstone can be mixed and make a grid, and it's the strength out of one of these rows that really controls. I do have repeaters here for a reason. And basically when this grid works, this is more of a transmission question, or the transmission component we'll talk about in the next episodes upcoming. But I just wanted to really quickly show that if I was to replace that with a repeater, this signal goes directly into the piston. But if I was to take that out and make the grid, it doesn't. So it actually won't power that. So keep in mind that that's an issue, and we'll again talk about that more and more. But the whole point is to show you we can use these composters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, the redstone signal comes out 3, 6. Ooh, so 6 will actually push it 4, and then power the piston. Now I have a couple options here. I can come down here. 5. Ooh. So see, so as these things get full, they actually power the entire grid. If I remember correctly, oops, well, we'll fix that real quick, won't we? If I remember correctly, I should be able to power all of them. Yep, look at that. With one single, I think it's completely full now. Yes. So guys, go ahead and let your imagination run wild of what you can actually do with this kind of setup. I see mini games. That's what I see from that. And look at that. This one was completely full in order to push it 4 over, but the ones in the middle don't have to be. It was actually 2 carrots away from being completely full. So again, composters can be a powered component as well, and it can produce quite a few different tricks, really, if you want to. So okay guys, for completeness, let's real quickly get lightning rod out of the way. Signal strength is 15 when struck by lightning. Boom, that's it. I'm not going to try to test that here. I don't want to try to get lightning to actually strike the thing. But Logical Geek Boy and others, if you start watching some of their videos, they're using this to actually get charged creepers. I think Logical Geek Boy actually has a system set up in one of his videos where he's able to trap creepers in a specific transportation system. I think he's using water to move them around, and during a rainstorm, lightning rods will hit it and actually charge those creepers. So again, let your imagination run wild with what you can actually do when it's storming outside. Well, there's the lightning rod. Alright guys, so since I showed you the lightning rod, a lot has happened. I've actually been sitting on that footage for about 2 weeks now. So my last upload of any video was actually 2 weeks to the day, I believe. I think back on March 22nd. And the last update to this particular series was back on the 16th of March, so 3 weeks. And it was that day that, yep, life struck. I got a huge assignment deadline at work, in real life kind of thing. Yeah, that happens once in a while. We can't always just play this game, although we'd love to. So, because of that, we had to kind of take a little bit of break from Minecraft, unfortunately, and get that done. Well, today, the submittal was in, everything's good, and I am back. I have had Minecraft withdrawal, and it is time to fix that. So So obviously we wanted to pick up where we left off, but that was on the lightning rod, meaning this guy, the little skulk sensor, is the next thing in line. But I tell you what, I got to building with it, and there's so much information that I think the next video is going to be all about it. It's pretty cool, the little contraptions that I built, some things I've been able to find out about this thing, and I'll do a little bit more research before I finish that video, so I'm thinking that's going to be a 10, 15, 20 minute video by itself, and doesn't need to be just put on to the end of this one. So guys, thank you for joining me on this video. I'm so sorry that it was 2 to 3 weeks before this episode came out. Like I said, in real life things happen. Next time I'll explain the skulk sensor area, which is right over my head, way back there, and all the things I'm doing to test. Guys, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter to everybody. I will see you later.